it boogies, it moves,
Yeah,
for sure.
It has definitely, you feel the torque. It's torquey. I mean, it's not the fastest car, but puts a smile on my face still, so.
This is awesome, man.
Yeah.
So good. All right, everyone, welcome back to Automotive Anatomy. Today we have Minh. Minh, thank you so much for making the time for us, man.
How's it going?
What do you drive?
This is a 1973 Datsun 240Z.
They're amazing cars, man, but they're getting so much harder to find. But before we get into this beautiful building, how you found it, tell me about yourself, man. When do you remember thinking, I like cars, this is my hobby, this is kind of the thing that I want to pursue?
Probably like any other kid my age, probably Fast and the Furious times. High school, wanting certain cars and seeing other kids drive cars and, you know, kind of getting into it and doing auto shop in high school.
Oh, your high school had auto shop?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's not a given to all the high schools nowadays.
Yeah.
What kind of cars were you into back then?
It's JDM still. Not too much a American car guy, but kind of more Civics, Hondas, Eclipse, stuff like that.
Got it. So obviously with the Fast and Furious, you're like, okay, Japanese all the way.
Yeah.
What ends up being your first car?
First car is a 93 Sentra SCR.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's a kind of a tough one to find these days too.
It came with Brembo brakes up front?
I'm not sure.
Not that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Because I know that my buddy just picked up a Nissan Sentra SCR, and it comes with Brembo brakes up front, you know, some other goodies, but obviously
it's a fun car.
Yeah, but not many people are into the Sentras, but it is a good car. Okay, gotcha. And how long did you have that for?
I had that for a couple years. So I got that junior year of high school.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, I had it for a couple years.
6-speed?
No, it was actually automatic.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, gotcha.
It was a hand-me-down. It was my brother's car, so.
Okay. Did you do anything to it?
Not just lowered it. That was it.
That's cool. Yeah.
Didn't have much money back then.
They're great looking cars. Looking cars, man. And then what comes next?
Next was a 98 Eclipse GS.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a fun car. Good looking car. Still looks good to this day. Now I wish I still had it. It's a definitely collector car now.
Great looking car, yes. Yeah. Was it reliable? Because I know those DSMs, man. They like to be on jack stands.
It's reliable. It was the all motor, so it wasn't turboed. So
okay.
Yeah.
So you're like, once you start putting power into those things, forget about it. It doesn't. Gotcha. Okay. So somewhere along the lines, it seems like you decided to go backwards and get an older car instead of newer car. How do we stumble upon the Datsun? Why the Datsun?
Just talking to people and getting to know a couple Datsun guys. Company back in the day called Datsun Restore. It kind of got me into it. Saw his Z's and he had a 510 also, and just kind of fell in love with it.
Okay. And so when you start searching, do you start searching for a 510, 240, 620, or was it
240?
Okay.
I mean, just because it's a more of an iconic Japanese sports car. Kind of one of the most popular ones out of all of them, I would say.
Yeah. And where did you find it?
This one I found, I think it was Craigslist.
Okay.
Back in the beginning when Craigslist was all brand new.
Wait, they didn't charge to post anymore.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And so you found it. It looked like this. It looked great. That's it. You're done?
No. It actually,
You're like, no.
Yeah, it was actually silver with a black hood, just primer black and stock mag wheels, and that was pretty much it. Had the original bumpers and everything.
Oh, those big old things, huh? Yeah.
So I kind of went through that. Replaced motor and on paint job.
Man. Yeah. And how many years was that?
It was back in 2004, 2005.
Wow.
So I've had it for a while.
So you're not a YouTuber that just picked it up 3 months ago and putting all this money into it, okay?
It's built, not bought. So.
Oh, man. Well, let's start looking and talking about this beautiful car, man. Like, it's such a unique car. So it is a 240Z, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and what year, remind me again?
73, so the last year they made the 240s.
Oh, okay. And then after that, what, it went to 280s?
260s.
260s,
oh. 260s for 1 year and then 280s after that.
Okay. And I see you didn't get the +2.
Yeah.
It's a love-hate relationship with those.
I love them.
Oh, you do? Okay, good. Okay. So you end up, you pick this one up. You said it was silver, primer hood. How long do you paint it afterwards?
I probably had it for, I'd say, a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
And just decided to go and paint it.
And obviously, the paint, I mean, it's so good for how long you've had it. I still can't believe that it's been that many years.
Yeah, it was garaged and not driven for probably over 10 years. So
man, there's some dudes out there who are like, yeah, that's my car too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you paint it and then just kind of keep it stored.
Yeah, painted. I had a new motor, had a company out in Huntington Beach called Alt Z kind of put it in. I don't know if they're around anymore, but probably drove it around for a couple years after that. And then after starting a family, kind of just sat in the garage for about 10 years. And
wow.
Came out of hibernation the last probably 2-3 years. So
okay, well, I'm glad that you're driving it again. What is the name of the color or the color code, if by any chance you remember?
So the color is from E30 M3, so it's henna rot red. So it's a BMW color.
How dare you?
Yeah.
That's awesome, because then people actually are going to be able to find the exact color.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Man, looks great. It's like a orange, red.
Yeah. So if I park next to an orange car, it looks really red. If I park next to a red car, it's really orange. So it's a nice median in between.
Hey, like a little chameleon stuff, man. That's awesome. And then the front end, you said obviously we ditched the big safety, you know, front bumpers from the U.S. What do we end up going with?
So these are just fiberglass from MSA, and then the lower air dam is just a Type 1 air dam that probably the majority of people run. The skid plate is a skillered lower lip.
Oh, okay.
So they make a ton of parts for these cars.
Yeah, you were saying that the aftermarket support, it's kind of strong right now, which is good.
Really,
right?
really strong. I'd say probably the strongest out of most Japanese vintage cars.
Whoa.
It's probably got the most support.
Oh, that's awesome. Because if anybody out there wants to get into the game of Datsun, then they know that they can get that support.
Yeah.
And the front end is just perfect. Like there's nothing else I would want to do to it, but is there anything else that you want to do to it?
Not too much. I'm thinking about maybe doing some more carbon fiber stuff, but we'll see.
Man, I love how you painted the front bumpers black. It matches with the...
Yeah, it kind of breaks it up a little bit.
Yeah. And then what kind of tow hook?
This is a T3, so that's Techno Toy Tuning. They make a ton of parts.
Another company, right? Yeah. They do that also for like the Corollas. So it's like they're doing an amazing job.
Corollas, 886s, and all that. And
man, this is just absolutely beautiful car. And then the bonnet, the front bonnet is it's OEM, right?
Yeah, it's an OEM hood.
Okay.
And then the inspection lids are dry carbon fiber. Those ones are made by Lonely Driver, and they're out in Canada.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, cool little pieces. Everybody just thinks of every little thing, huh? To add to their Z. Man, I love it. And then the rear bumpers are what?
Same thing. It's fiberglass.
And they're fiberglass.
Yeah.
Okay. They tuck in very, very nicely, man.
Yeah.
It just look perfect. Okay. Suspension. What are we running?
Running Silvermine Motors coilovers.
Okay.
Yeah. They're good so far. I mean, I don't track it. I don't race it. It's a good cruiser car, a weekend car, so it does what it needs to do.
Okay, so that's perfect. And how long you've had that suspension for?
I've had it for 2.5 years.
Oh, okay, so it's recent. It's not like you've had them for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Z suspension itself, the way they're made, you actually have to cut the perch and weld in the new suspension. So
it's like the E30s.
Yeah.
Oh man, those headaches of suspension. And then I see that you upgraded braking system. What other suspension goods did you upgrade?
So I have lower control arms front and rear from T3. I have, and then the brakes are Willwood. Those are from Silvermine Motors. So I got front and rear brakes also.
Wow. Man. Because originally, obviously, they come with disc up front, but drums in the back?
Yeah, drums in the back.
Now, all 240s came with drums in the back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And the popular upgrade would be like Toyota calipers for the rears, like 4-pots, or a lot of people change those out because it's just a direct bolt on.
Oh, it's direct?
So, yeah.
Don't they do the Nissan 300ZX as well?
I believe so. I think the 300ZX you have to change the booster and all that stuff.
Oh, I think they do that for the 240s, the actual S13s and those. Okay, gotcha. Man, that's cool that you're able to like do upgrades from, you know, Nissan and things like that.
Yeah.
But Willwood also makes very good parts for these vintage cars.
Definitely.
And obviously, Big Break Kid, you have to have wheels that you know, clear them. And that's also the game that we play. That once you upgrade this cool thing, it's nice. You can't just put any wheel.
Yep.
What kind of wheels and what are the specs, man?
So these are RS Watanabes in the gold color, and the spec says 16x8, 0 offset. The fronts I have 3mm spacers, and then the rears I have 5 to clear the caliper.
You still had to put even with the 0?
Yeah, I had to clear it. I mean, if you look at the caliper, you could probably fit a sheet of paper through it. And
oh man,
it really fits.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And the tire size that you're running?
RT 615K plus. So far so good. I have them on a couple of my cars, and I mean they do the job for sure.
When are you putting on the bag setup?
Huh?
When are you putting on the bags?
No bags.
You're like, what? No.
Static.
Static for life?
Yeah, the sound is just so raw. The driving and shifting is it's just a nice ride. You feel like you're kind of, you know, controlling the car and not, you know, feel like it's driving you.
Right. And we live among people that want their cars to drive by themselves. But that's a whole different conversation. Yeah. Not trying to trigger anybody. Yeah, I mean, this is what it's all about, man. You mentioned there's no computers. It's just very analog. It's very mechanical.
Yeah.
Short shifter, it seems very direct. What kind of short shifter?
No, it's just a stock shifter.
No way.
Yeah, 5-speed.
It just seems so direct. Okay.
Yeah.
The gas, fumes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I think you in the mirrors. What kind of mirrors?
The mirrors are Star Road mirrors, and I picked those up through Lonely Driver. He sells them.
Wow, I feel like you got the perfect balance. Even the door handles are black, so it gives it nice look. Goes with the trim, the bumpers. Like you've done an amazing job, man. Obviously, this is not your first type of car that you've built, and you've done amazing because it's just the car just flows so nicely.
Yeah. I just over the years, it just kind of. The way I was thinking about it kind of transformed, but overall, it started out I wanted it to be this color, like a reddish orange, and then with all blacked out trim, all blacked out parts. It still has a little bit of chrome in here and there, but just enough where it doesn't bother me, you know?
Yeah. Like the iconic Z right there. It's just so cool, man. Like, man. Let's talk about the interior, because just like the outside is perfect, let's see what the interior holds. You don't mind? Thank you, man. Man. Wow. What do you have going on?
Those are just reproduction door cards. So basically just kind of redo the upholstery on them. They sell kits for that too.
Oh, okay. Man.
That I actually got from Datsun Restore, like back when they were still open 15 years ago.
That one that got you hooked up. That's cool. Yeah. Man. And then what else do you have going on?
So I have Recaro seats. These are the LX seats. Picked those up from HMO. And then just Momo steering wheel and shifter, kind of just to keep it within the same kind of look. NRG, quick release hub. Still stock gauges and all that. I have speed hut gauges, just haven't had the time to put them in yet.
Right.
The pedals are SRP Racing aluminum pedals. Man. And then I got the floor mats from Society. Those are they're the new options they have now, so they're pretty sweet looking.
Love the checkered. Man, the entire car is just mint. It's all there. Love that.
Could be little things here and there that could be redone, but in due time.
In due time, man. And then what kind of braces in the back?
Those are from T3, so that's like their rear V-bar brace, and then the other one is just an upper brace that attaches to the seatbelt thing. I just wanted to give it an extra look to add to it.
Man. The pattern on the covers here in the back, I see it here.
Yeah,
I see it in the
diamond,
tunnel.
The diamond vinyls.
Is that OEM?
Yeah, that's OEM. That's original
Wow.
to the car for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't plan on replacing that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. It kind of brings me back to. It seems like just people back in the 70s, 80s, even 90s, up to the 90s, they were creating cars for the love of cars. Now they all look like cookie cutters. There's no way they're gonna be doing patterns like that. You know, they had aftermarket things that or OEM things that you can add add-ons. Now most cars don't. Any future plans for the interior?
Just the gauges, and then possibly a new dash. I'm thinking about getting a new dash.
It literally has one crack, sir.
Yeah.
that's good. Man.
But I want to keep some stuff on here original, just to kind of keep that history of the car at least. You know, I don't want to replace every part.
Man.
Yeah, all the seals and all that were all put in new right after paint. So.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
okay.
So they're still pretty fresh.
Everything has been done. I mean, you've done all of that to the outside, the interior. Let's talk about the power plant. Let's see what we got going on.
Pop the hood real quick.
Now with the Datsuns, it's a thing that as cars get older, you're gonna start running into more issues, obviously mechanical.
Yeah.
And so then the question becomes, do we keep the L's? Do we do something else? Clearly, we know where you went.
Yeah.
But like, tell us about your thought process before we start talking about it. What are we looking at, and why did you go with this specific setup? Because it's perfect.
Yeah. So my thing was I wanted to keep it period correct and true to the kind of the Datsun Z cars, and didn't want to change the motor and all that. And I just love the look of the carburetors. It just has a unique sound and look to them. So.
Man. And so, walk us through that. When did you end up actually doing the engine bay?
So, before I actually got the car painted, I had Alt Z get a crate motor from Nissan. So this was a brand new refurbished crate motor from Nissan. And I believe these motors were actually purchased for their program. They were going to rebuild, I believe it was 100 240s. And they were going to bring them back to pretty much show quality, like showroom quality cars. And they didn't finish it. And they only built a few of them. And these are supposedly one of the motors that they had left over from it.
No way.
Yeah.
So then that means it's built to spec. It's OEM.
It's an L28, so it's not a 2.4 liter. So it's a little bit bigger motor.
And again, it's built to spec. There's nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like
stock.
you've done. You haven't done anything.
Yeah, I haven't done
upgrades?
anything. I plan on probably doing cams for it. The next thing.
And transmission?
Transmission's a 5-speed, so it's from a ZX.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's a kind of a popular upgrade for these.
Is it a stronger transmission or just the
stronger?
gearing?
The gearing mainly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, the rear end can be redone if I wanted to get something a little bit better. But I mean, with the power I'm running, there's probably not necessary.
Okay, gotcha. Man. And then what made you decide to go with this setup right here?
So, I mean, just getting into these cars, I mean, I've always seen the race cars with triple carburetors, and either they go with Webers or Makunis, and then there's OERs also. And just talking to more people, and then talking to the person who set up these carburetors, recommended getting the Makunis. So I ended up going that route. So Taka at Kusha House hooked me up with all this. He actually, I found a set of these Makunis, and he restored them completely. So I mean, they look probably better than from the factory. They look shinier, cleaner. Yeah, he does a great job of what he does. I mean, if you need carburetors restored, I mean, he's your guy.
Wow. Let's check out the header on the other side.
Actually, the header's underneath.
It's under that?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's underneath. So this side's pretty bare.
I guess I'm a fraud. I don't know what I'm looking at. See? That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so-
edit that part out too.
So the
So
header.
I'm gonna be like, look at the headers here.
So the header is underneath the plate.
Oh, I didn't even see it. I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
I purposely got a big plate to cover the header because the headers aren't like the nicest looking. They're not coated or anything like that.
And to fool me. Thank you.
But the
Thank
next
you, man.
thing I want to do, I want to get I want to get a full exhaust system, and that's kind of one of the things I want to do later.
I like the way it sounds right now. I mean,
Yeah, it sounds good. I like it.
it just sounds great. I mean, I don't even want to ask you if there's any future plans. It's just there shouldn't be, man. This is great.
I mean, there's little things. I want to replace, like the fan. I want to get a new
The
fan.
nuts and bolts.
just like little stuff to kind of make it nice.
What kind of radiator is it?
It's just a Champion radiator.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Perfect size. And then the strut bar is what?
So this is a Cusco.
Cusco. Wow.
The center one, and then this is T3. So they make an adapter.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I
So
thought it was the same.
they make a full kit that goes all the way across too. But I kind of like the look of this bar
Yeah.
better than just the piping one.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
cool that they did that and add on to it. Man, yeah. I don't know. Just drive it. That's all. There's nothing else. This is cool. I mean,
Yeah, very simplistic. I like carbureted just because it's more mechanical.
I mean, how is that like? Yeah, mechanical is cool.
Yeah.
Performance, reliability. How does that work?
So far, I mean, I've had these carburetors set up since December, and it's started up every time. Never had any issues. Drives well. I mean, it hasn't left me stranded at all.
What fuel do you use?
I'm just using 91
Okay.
right now, but I actually put a additive, just like a fuel booster in it. I put a half can of octane booster.
Gotcha. Okay. Plus, it helps that it hasn't been cold or anything.
Yeah. This weather's good overall, but if I drive in traffic in this hot weather, it doesn't like it.
It doesn't like it?
Yeah. It definitely sputters a little bit in first gear, but once you get going, it goes. But
that's so cool. People walked away from these setups because they wanted more of performance and reliable,
for sure.
and just just easier to manage. And you're like, no, let me go back. But this is perfect, man.
There's pros and cons to each route, because I mean, when you go with EFI, you have to run ECU and all that stuff. And this one, I don't have any computer stuff. This one's just all you go in
hoses
here, and adjust stuff on the carburetor. And
get a screwdriver, go left and right. Yeah. That's true. That's very, very true. Man, this is great, and the fact that motor is a crate motor from Nissan, that makes it even better, man. All right, man. You can just cruise around, nothing crazy. Do you drink coffee?
I do.
You can get some coffee if you like. I don't know if there's a Starbucks nearby. It's really steep driveway, so yeah, definitely. When are you putting on the bag setup?
Huh?
When are you putting on the bags?
No bags.
You're like, what? No.
Static.
Static for life?
Yeah, the sound is just so raw. The driving and shifting is it's just a nice ride. You feel like you're kind of, controlling the car and not, feel like it's driving you.
Right. And we live among people that want their cars to drive by themselves. But that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
Not trying to trigger anybody. I mean, this is what it's all about, man. You mentioned there's no computers. It's just very analog. It's very mechanical.
Yeah.
Short shifter, it seems very direct. What kind of short shifter?
No, it's just a stock shifter.
No way.
Yeah, 5-speed.
It just seems so direct. Okay.
Yeah.
The gas, the fumes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It boogies, it moves, for sure.
It has definitely, you feel the torque. It's torquey. I mean, it's not the fastest car, but puts a smile on my face still, so.
very comfortable. This is not the smoothest of roads, and it's great. Starbucks if you like. Yeah, let's go. We can go through the drive-thru and come back so I can take more pictures. Do you know a Starbucks nearby?
On State College.
Okay. Yeah. We can go and then we can come back.
Yeah.
So who tuned the engine as of the latest, I guess I would say? So I know they're very finicky. If you don't get it right, then you're going to have bugging issues.
Yeah, Taka Kayusha House. Oh. He did all the tuning and all that. So he installed the carbs and had them restored and all that. But yeah, he does all the tuning. So he does all the magic on it.
Now I know you know your way around cars. You have like a gajillion and pretty cool cars, I might say. So thank you for making the time for us. Yeah. How difficult do you find it to work on this car as is right now?
That's not too bad. I mean, the engine itself has a lot of space to work on it. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, the parts are just, a lot of it's bolt on.
Okay.
Yeah, not too much where you have to take stuff off to get to it. So easy access. I mean, a lot of owners to these cars, they throw all kinds of different motors in it. LS motors, SRs, RBs, whatever can fit in it, they'll put in it.
Did you consider that at some point?
Not really, but now that I think about it, if I were to build another Z, I'd keep this Z.
I'd keep this Z.
And I'm an evil guy. I think I would put in a 4G63 with all-wheel drive. So
oh man,
that'd be awesome to do.
Has it been done?
Drive. I don't know. I've never seen one personally. So.
Oh, someone's about to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty rad, you know?
Yeah, something different for sure, and kind of surprise a lot of people if they were to see that when you open the hood.
Then you definitely go fender flex on that one then.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, it needs to hook.
That's when I would probably I'd probably get a salvage one so I don't feel guilty chopping it up.
Man.
Or do a rat rod build.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, this car is just so, like, it's crazy because for how stiff the suspension is, I guess you could say upgraded motor or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no rattles. There's no weird noises.
Yeah, it's very subtle. It actually doesn't make too much noise, but I mean, you in the car enough, you'll hear a little bit.
You're like, I can hear you can hear it. I'm like, I can't hear anything weird. Like, it sounds like it's built pretty solid, man.
Yeah.
But is there anything that you don't like about this Z?
What I don't like?
Yeah.
I guess the cost to build it.
That's okay.
It's fun.
Legitimate reason.
It's fun, but yeah, it does cost money, and I mean, it takes time. So it's kind of a labor of love, and do things in steps.
Yeah.
Kind of enjoy the whole process instead of just doing it all in one go, you know?
Right.
Or paying someone else to do it all.
Man, thank you so much for making the time, dude. Seriously, this is that's so cool that you've kept this car over 10 plus years. The setup in your engine is just perfect. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your build with us. I'm sure you're gonna be motivating somebody else in the other side of the world, and yeah, that's freaking cool. That's what it's all about. Any shout outs, man?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank you. Giving me this opportunity and picking me to do a review on the car. Probably want to start out, of course, the wife.
Yes.
Letting me kind of do my thing and kind of enjoy my hobby that I like. Sean at Ultimate Shield, he's one of my good buddies. I work with him, and I mean, he's a car guy. Kind of got me back into cars and gave me motivation to kind of get this thing going again after sitting for so long. Gilmer, his Instagram is Project260Z. He's a good friend of mine now. I mean, I met him through working at the shop. He brought his car to our shop, and since then kind of gave me the motivation to get it going again, because it just sat in the garage for so long. all the guys who helped me work on it. Taka at Kayusha House, Ben at Lonely Driver, Skillard for getting me all these parts. A super cool group of people over there. Edu, Carlson Picks, good friend, good Z buddy.
Hi, Edu.
Yeah, the JBZ guys right here, JBZ, always supporting the community and all that, and doing, you know, engine builds, motors, and doing car restoration now. So those guys are always good guys to go to. I don't know who else.
Over a span of 10 years, you will be forgetting somebody.
Yeah, and Oscar at Society. I mean, he hooks up the whole community with everything. Does so much stuff for the Z community.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. The honor and pleasure is ours, and we're humbled that you allowed us to learn about you and your build, and you made time for us. Man, I can't wait to see what happens to this car. Hopefully, in 10 years, you still have it the way it is, because it's gonna. If we think it's hard, if we think it's red right now, it's really gonna be red in 10 years.
Yeah.
It's going that way, man. So, man, thank you so much for the opportunity, man. Seriously, this is fun. Thank you for sharing your story, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.